Justice Hillmen. Short game play, tackled by Randy Fowler. 3rd down and 10.
Third and 9, ball's at the 21, 10:47 to go, opening drive of the game. And this time, Joe Brown, the quarterback, will operate from the shotgun. He's got one receiver left, one right, two backs in the backfield. Tries a quick throw out to the side. It is behind the receiver, but looks like he came back and made a catch. No, it hit the ground, but I tell you what, a heck of an effort over there on the side, but the pass will fall incomplete, and that means the Zebras will bring out their punting team. Pass was defended on the play by number 16, Kiefer Epps.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a great try by the receiver, a little bit behind him. He might even have been 1 yard in front of the first down if he had caught it, so it would have been close right there, but good job by the Hillmen. And again, when you know they have to pass, it makes it a lot easier on the defensive backs.
So one drive, 1 minute and 28 seconds, a 3 and out. They got 1 yard, Lincoln Zebras. Now they will punt it. Punting back deep, and pretty good one. Gets up in the air, up to return it, number 20. That looks like Luke Platzer, and he's going to let it roll dead right around the 50-yard line, and Platzer will take over right at midfield.
Yeah, hit the 50-yard line. Instead of going forward, bounced straight up in the air, and the Fighting Zebra special team right on it to close it at the 50. And again, you want to get off to a good start. You hold the other team to a net 1 yard and take over at midfield. Not a bad recipe. 3
plays, they gave up 1 yard, and now jogs on the Placer-Hillman offense. They huddle just about 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Baylor Kelly breaks the huddle to the left. Ryan Miller brings them up. They're on the right hash. They turn. They give it to Sean Jones. Looks like he shot out of a cannon. Picks up 13 yards. He doesn't get hit until he's 13 yards down the field. A nice first down pickup. They're going to give him 14, spotted at the 36.
And we talk about it all the time with Sean Jones since his return. And the acceleration once he hits the hole is impressive. That hole was impressive. And I don't know if he even needed to accelerate. But like you said, not touched for 10 yards.
This time they go with Baylor Kelly on the sweep. He comes around the outside, breaks a tackle around the 30. He's going to get taken down about the 28. So 2 plays, 2 good big runs, one by Sean Jones, one by Baylor Kelly. They're going to move the chains, 2 first downs on each of those carries.
Impressive part about that is Kelly got about 5 yards before he got hit. He bounced off 2 guys, and then when you said he was down, I saw him emerge on the pile, still going for more yards, and picked up the first down.
Thought he got stopped short. He didn't. So Placer started off at the 50. Ball is now down to the 26 and just 2 runs. Sean Jones, the sophomore, and Baylor Kelly on the sweep. Placer goes right to left on your radio dial. The ball's on the right hash. Miller will operate out of the shotgun. He's got a receiver in motion. Looks left. Plenty of time to throw. He's trying to find Jeremiah Reethy, and he threw it a little bit too high, and that's going to be intercepted by Madden Bissett. Really just a high throw there. Reethy went up and mistimed his jump, bounced off his hands, and Madden Bissett picked it off.
Yeah, good-looking pattern, too. I mean, he went out and it was cutting out toward the sidelines at about the 14-yard line or so. Kind of a high throw, got his hands on it, and unfortunately for the Hillmen, fortunately for the Fighting Zebras, they had a defensive guy sitting down right there literally.
6th interception. He was sitting down, and he caught it. So fortuitous bounce for the Fighting Zebras, a bad bounce for the Placer Hillmen. So with 9:29 to go here in the first quarter, Hillmen were moving, but that is now thwarted by the interception, the 6th of the season for the Fighting Zebras, their 9th overall turnover. They will take it over on the 12-yard line. They are on the right hash, going left to right on your radio dial. Brown still in a quarterback. We will see 3. Flag comes out. I think this might be a delay. They do call a delay a game. Took a while for them to get their personnel in.
Yeah, they weren't ready to get the ball back so quickly, and the guys were kind of spread out all over the sidelines, and by the time they got him in and he's playing the play, it was too late.
So that's what happens sometimes when you're an 0-6 team. Those kinds of little mistakes, that's a sudden change, should bring some momentum, and then you get a 5-yard penalty. Nonetheless, they have 2 receivers set out left. Brown will work from the shotgun. Quick throw, wide receiver screen out there, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. He's not going to get anything. So first down, and there's a flag on the play. Let's see if there's a late hit or what happens here. But after the whistle blew, a flag came in. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, that looks like the offense that the JVs used with the flea flicker, and it was a wide receiver screen. The Hillmen were right on it. He did a good job to get up to the line of scrimmage. And let's see what the flag is. Still haven't told us. Yeah.
Dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct on the Placer Hillmen. I think they're going to call that on Luke Platzer, number 20, because he's going to be summoned to the sidelines. But that is not good. Placer's defense was doing a pretty good job on it, but that will be an automatic first down for the Lincoln Zebras.
Yeah, you had Lincoln pinned down on their 5-yard line. There was going to be 2nd and 10 on the 5, and that was a dangerous play. You throw the wide receiver screen across the field like that, and now gives the Zebras a little breathing room out to the 19.
It's not an automatic first down, but it does give them a 2nd and 4. Now they'll operate from the left hash. 2 receivers left, 1 tight end on the right. They're in the I formation. They'll turn, give it to the tailback, Brock Gaylor. Gaylor gets upfield. He picks up about 2 yards, and it'll be 3rd and short. Brought down again. Nice job by defensively. It looks like Daniel Maldonado, the middle linebacker, who's got 52 tackles and 5 tackles for loss coming into this game.
Incredibly impressive. And, yeah, even though that was only a 2-yard gain, perhaps 3-yard gain, that's the best running play they've had so far. So a little bit of success there. And they're just trying to eke out this first down with the aid of the penalty, give themselves another set of downs.
3rd and 1, 8:42 to go. First quarter, no score, I formation for the Zebras. They turn, give it to the second back through, and he's going to get the first down. Parker Kelly met him, but he met him about 3 yards along the line. So that 15-yard penalty, the unsportsmanlike conduct on, looked like number 20, Luke Platzer, really turned the tide where they looked like the Lincoln Zebras were going to be held deep. They pick up a first down. Now they have the ball out at the Placer 24.
Yeah, and my hot take is that if you have an unsportsmanlike penalty, it should be an automatic first down. I want them to change that rule. And that's ridiculous. Somebody has
it's like a personal foul.
Yeah, that's got to be penalized by a automatic first down. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
No, I appreciate it. It's good.
I like it.
1st and 10. Zebras in the I formation, working from the left hash to give it to Brock Gaylor. He runs straight head first, picks up about 4 yards, really hits the hole hard. Brock Gaylor started the year as the quarterback. When we talked to Coach Alan Berg earlier this week, he said he was our best runner. We didn't have a tailback, so we moved him over.
Yeah, and he's getting all those fullback carries, and that was a very good run right there. And you can see he's not shying away from contact, but that's why his average per carry is about 2.5, because he goes right up the middle against a masked-up defensive line.
Picked up 4 yards there, so it's 2nd and 6. They go T formation, fake it to the fullback. They're going to run the option, and coming up from the backside to make the tackle is Parker Kelly. But give all the credit in the world to the defensive end staying home. Valentino Oristudo held his ground, as did Ivan De Silva, so that will go for a loss. 4-yard loss. Now it goes from a 2nd and 6 to a 3rd and 7.
And it seems like every play that Lincoln has run that has taken a little bit of time behind the line of scrimmage, like that option play or the screen they ran, it gives the Hillmen time to penetrate, and they're getting good penetration past the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 7. This time Brown will operate from the shotgun. He's got trips receivers to the left. He's under pressure, and he's going to go down. He's sacked. Looks like number 56, Justin Alba, takes him down. Great job from his defensive tackle position. His 2nd sack of the season from the junior.
Yeah, Justin Alba's been fantastic. His only problem, as you know, is he doesn't have a number in the 70s, so he doesn't really fit in with the rest of the linemen. But I think he's going to be okay.
I wonder if he eats lunch with them, though. You know?
No, I'm sure they're friends. He'll shake that off. That's just a me thing. I just love the hits from the 70s.
So for the 2nd time in a row, Lincoln has the ball. They will punt. Did pick up a first down there. Their punter is number 4, Lane Tingley. Got a good one last time. Gets a pretty good leg into this one. Back deep to return. And he's going to just let it roll short. Smart on the play, Luke Platzer, and that will stop at about the 47 inside Lincoln territory.
Yeah, they picked up 3 yards on the exchange of punts. Now, last time we had 2 straight runs. They were both successful. Had a pass, and let's be honest, I talked about expanding the passing game in the keys to the game, and that was a good route and a throw that was a little bit too high. Ended up being an interception, so that sets the Hillmen back. So let's see if they go with the same philosophy this time.
You get the sense they're going to need to have that Miller to Reethy connection. And last week we saw Reethy drop one, which would have been a touchdown, and that one was just a little misconnected. We'll see, but it definitely seems like something that Coach Montoya wants to roll with.
Yeah, I think he does recognize that he needs to get more than just Kiefer Abs on the receiving end.
Counter play coming inside. Huge hole. Looks like it's Justin Willis, and JJ's got a big run all the way down to the 24. Placer had it at the 47, went with Baylor Kelly in motion, faked the sweep into the boundary, gave it to J.J. Willis, who got it all the way down to the 25, pick up a 22 yards, biggest run of the game so far for Placer.
Yeah, averaging about 15 yards a carry in a very limited sample size.
This time they'll put Kelly in motion. He's just a decoy. They give it to Sean Jones. Jones is good for about 4 yards, all the way down to about the 20, brought down on the plane by Matthew Sprinkle.
So halfway through the first quarter here, the Hillmen have put two good drive. Well, a little minimum drive together, and this one a couple of good plays, and so they've been strong so far. Have to get some points on it.
Counter play to Baylor Kelly. Huge hole around the right side. Doesn't know where to go. Cuts all the way back. He's going to go in the end zone. Touchdown from 20 yards out. Touchdown, Hillmen. 5:17 to go. They go up 6-0. It was Baylor Kelly. There's a drive where we had J.J. Willis, then Sean Jones, then Baylor Kelly, and Kelly runs it in for his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Hillmen go up with 5:17 to go here in the first quarter, 6-0.
I like his running skills. I love his listening skills. I just said, hey, got to get some points on the board, and he said, okay, let me pick my way through this wreckage on the field here, and I'll get into the end zone for you. And they got 6 on the board.
So a 47-yard scoring drive. Kevin Martinez on for the extra point. Ryan Miller to hold. He gets it down. The kick is up, and it is good. And the Placer Hillmen lead this one 7-0. And the only thing stopping the Placer Hillmen offense is the Placer Hillmen, as they have the ball by themselves all the way moving on their last possession.
And that's the thing that they want to work on, too. So that's the area, that's maybe perceived as a weak area, and that has been the weak part of this game so far. But they came back, and, again, give credit to the guys up front, Scott, because we talk about the running backs all the time breaking tackles. Not a lot of tackles to break so far tonight. The holes have been pretty big.
Baylor Kelly went in untouched. It was a great hole, got into the backfield, and he cut it all the way back into the boundary, scores the touchdown. You can hear the band going. Huge crowd on hand.
Huge crowd.
So great. And parking situation was better tonight, too.
Yeah, it is. It wasn't very good. I parked farther away just by habit, and I walked past many spots on the way up the hill. But I need the exercise.
You seemed grumpy when you got here.
Well, that's because I'll probably forget where my car is.
Kevin Martinez to kick. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Plaza. This one's fielded at the 5. Receiver takes it up to about the 25. Nice return, and that's where Lincoln will take over for their 3rd offensive possession. Their first one, they got 1 yard and punted. Their second one, they got it from the 5 out to about the 30 and punted, and they will take over at the 25. So this is their best field position of the night.
Yeah, and what a play the running back made to bring that one back, because that was a line drive kick by Kevin Martinez, and he caught it about his shoulder, which was a kind of a risky play, but he got it, and one of the better returns we've seen against the Hillmen in the last couple of games.
Just went straight up the field. So the Fighting Zebras down 7-0 with 5:10 to play will operate from the right hash. It'll be Joe Brown still in quarterback. He goes to Brock Gaylor. Gaylor spins, and he picks up about 3 yards, and again brought down on the play by number 22, Daniel Maldonado, the middle linebacker.
Who was standing in the hole waiting for the running back to come through, and he said, okay, and running back came through, and he took him down. I mean, they got 3 yards, give credit to the running back, but Maldonado, who leads the team in tackles, has all season long, basically, makes another good play.
As you pointed out, Brock Gaylor came into this game 42 carries for 96 yards.
Yeah, because he gets the ball up front. There's 3 guys waiting for him every time.
Yep. Up front, junior. 5 juniors that'll all be back next year.
Absolutely.
Pick up a 3 yards on first down. 2nd and 7. Brown will operate under center. Off-I formation. 1 receiver left, 1 right. Gives it again to Gaylor. Gaylor looks like he breaks a tackle but doesn't really go anywhere. That's actually going to lose a yard. Nice job there by Ivan De Silva coming up, making the stop.
And you don't need my level of analyst to tell you this, guy, but when you can't run the ball like that, it puts more pressure on Joe Brown, who's completed a little bit less than 50% of his passes. And we've seen him tonight in situations he has to throw. Makes it very difficult because the Placer defensive backs have been playing good one-on-one coverage. So the credit again to the defensive line and the linebackers, putting them in a must-pass situation.
Brock Gaylor did pick up a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 5 at the 30. 3:45 to go first quarter. Placer leads this one 7-0. They've had the ball twice. Lincoln's had it 3 times, has not crossed the midfield. This time they go trips receivers left. Brown will operate out of the shotgun, takes a 3-step drop, rolls left, throws it out. It's got a receiver, picks up the first down. Nice throw, little pitch and catch. Looked like it was a moon ball, but it got to where it needed to go.
It was a real nice throw, and you're right. It was a moon ball, and it was in the air a long time. But we noticed that earlier when they threw their wide receiver screen, the ball's in the air a long time. And I got to think that those Hillmen line defensive backs are going to feast on one of those pretty soon.
Mateo Biaggi on the catch, one of the few seniors on the team, 5'11", 140. So a pickup of a first down. And Lincoln now has the ball out at the 36-yard line on the left hash. They're going left to right on your radio dial. Twins receivers to the right, tight end left. Quick sweep around the right side. Gaylor's going to turn. He's got a little bit of running room. He gets up to about the 41-yard line. They got a little bit of a good push there. Wide receivers actually pushed that along. Brought down on the play by Baylor Kelly, who comes up a little hobbled.
Yeah, 4-yard gain, like you say, and a situation where that was a pitch play, and the Hillmen have been pretty good about getting in the backfield on those pitch plays, and they give credit to Gaylor for picking up 4.
Referee throws a flag on the play. This will be a sideline warning. The first one is just a warning against the Placer Hillmen. Head coach Eric Rodardi was 3 yards out on the field, so they told them to get back. I think he's a little frustrated that they gave up a 4-yard run on the pitch play, but right now the Lincoln Zebras have it all the way up to the 41. It'll be 2nd and 6, 2:45 to go first quarter.
Have we had more sideline warnings this year than usual, do you think? I think we've had a couple.
It's become a new thing.
It's a thing.
2 receivers left, off I formation, tight end right, Brown underneath the center. He turns, gives it to Brock Gaylor. Gaylor hit hard as in the hole, and he might have picked up a yard. He was running that time behind Everett Frazier. Picked up 1 yard on the play. Getting up from the bottom of the pile is Justin Alba and Daniel Maldonado.
I hope Gaylor has a hot tub at his house.
Or an ice bath.
Oh, he's got to get something, man, because they just give it to him and say, run into all those big guys and see what you can do. And he does a heck of a job. Also a heck of a job by the Hillmen front five. It's, making them think about a 3rd and 5 in another passing situation. They threw the wide out last time.
3rd and 5. Ball's in the middle of the field. 42-yard line. Placer leading this one 7-0. About 2 minutes to go. 2 receivers right, 1 left. 1 back in the backfield. This time Brown goes out. He's under a ton of pressure, throws it underneath, and that is incomplete. Applying the pressure big time was Valentino Oristudo and Parker Kelly, and Brown was just lucky to get rid of that one, Phantom.
Yeah, I was thinking about that before the play, and luckily I didn't say it because it would have made me look smart. You think about, he's putting the ball in the air, and you want to make him throw it a little sooner. Maybe they'll bring somebody. They were getting a good rush with the front 4, but they brought somebody else in there, and Brown really didn't even see him coming. He got the ball out of his hands, but had no chance of being completed.
Parker Kelly came on the delayed blitz, so he had a tackle trying to block 2 people. It didn't go anywhere, but the field position matrix has moved a little bit as Lincoln will punt with just under 2 minutes to go. Back deep to punt again, Lane Tingley. And to receive, standing at about the 30, is Luke Platzer. Good snap. Kick is off. It's a line drive. Platzer will return it. He catches it at the 34. He fumbles it, and thank goodness he just falls right on top of it down around the 38, and that's where Platzer will take over.
That could have been a great run. It could have been a disaster. It looked like it was going to be a disaster because, as you said, a line drive kick, and he's able to field it on the fly and try to cut to the right side. And I think he was already around the right corner before he caught the ball, and that was the problem.
Well, you mentioned it on the kickoff down here by Lincoln. It was the same sort of line drive kick that could have bounced right off his shoulder pad. So Placer's going to take over at the 37. They're on the right hash. Ryan Miller will operate under center. Baylor Kelly goes in motion. Miller's going to go back to pass. He's going to throw it deep down the field. He's got a wide open Kiefer Abs. Great throw, great catch, all the way down to the 15-yard line. Phenomenal pass protection, and what a job going up by number 16, Kiefer Abs. Great ball.
Fantastic job, Scott. And Kiefer Abs got up, and there was a little chatter back and forth between the defensive back and Abs, so we'll watch that for later. But again, beautiful pass by Miller, and Abs is really coming out the last couple of weeks.
Wonderful throw by Ryan Miller, who is now 1 for 2 on the night. They go underneath. They give it to Sean Jones. Jones has got a whole lane, and he's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown. So just like that, 2 plays, 62 yards, the big pass and catch. But Sean Jones again 5 rushing touchdowns on the season. Make that 6. Placer goes up 13-0.
And neither he nor Baylor Kelly has any fingerprints. You're not going to be able to dust them for fingerprints on those 2 touchdown runs because nobody touches them. If you get my drift there, I was saying
100%.
Understand what I'm saying?
I'm listening. You're the whole dust of fingerprints. We were talking about police officers beforehand.
I know.
So Kevin Martinez on. He's 11 for 11 on extra points. Miller puts a snap down. Kick is up, and it is good with 1:29 to go in the first quarter. Placer leads this one 14-0, and Phantom, had they not had the interception on their first drive, this very easily could be 21-0.
Yeah, but that last pass play was a thing of beauty. Abs getting himself a step, maybe a step and a half on the defensive back. And Miller getting in front and put the ball right where it needed to be for the huge gain. And then, we've seen, maybe 8 to 10 running plays so far, and maybe 1 or 2 of them they've got a hand on the running back before he got 5 yards.
A 62-yard drive in 2 plays. A wonderful throw by Ryan Miller to Kiefer Abs. Set up a running play by Sean Jones, and with 1:29 to go, it is all Placer leading this one 14-0. They'll kick off again. This will be the 3rd time for Kevin Martinez. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them online at auburntrophies.com. Gets a good kick into this. This one will be fielded in the end zone, and when you field in the end zone in high school, that's an automatic touchback, so Lincoln will take over on the 20.
Martinez doing what Martinez does. He's done it kind of in different ways today, line drives and pop-ups, etc., but he gets the ball into the end zone nonetheless. And let's see if Lincoln comes out maybe with a little different philosophy, maybe not make Gaylor run up the middle against 7 guys. We'll see if they try to vary things, but I think Placer really got into their heads with that blitz last time on the 3rd down.
Well, Coach Berg said we'd see Eli Duff. We might even see Gaylor at quarterback, but Brown will jog onto the field for this 4th offensive possession, and they look like they're a man short. They already had a delay game penalty the last time they had the ball, and they're jogging on the field now to call the play. They look like they're 2-man short. It looks like somebody ordering a pizza.
Maybe a timeout is in order here.
Yes.
And I don't like to coach from the stands, because my coaching experience is not that good. But in this case, I'd call a timeout.
Well, Lincoln does take a timeout. We'll take it with them with 1:29 to go here at Lefebvre Stadium. It's Placer 14, Lincoln Zebras nothing. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, AM and FM, your voice of the Foothills. Placer 14, Lincoln nothing. 1:29 to go first quarter. Scott Gordon alongside Mark the Phantom Lowe. This is Lincoln's 4th possession. They've punted on all of the first 3. Placer's had 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. It is 1st and 10. Little pitch play around the outside. Ball is brought up field. Pickup of maybe a yard or 2. That looked like it was Bon Pham, number 22, on the run.
Yeah, we talked about it before about, you asked me in the pregame about figuring out what Lincoln is doing and what Placer will be thinking about and concerned about. I don't know that they're concerned about it, but they seem to know exactly what the Zebras are trying to do. Every play they run is pretty well scouted.
Well, Lincoln takes a lot of time. They huddle up. They're very deliberate in their approach. Picked up 2 yards there. It was actually Lucas Nelson, on the carry. We're under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Placer leads it 14-0. Lincoln will operate from the left hash. They're going left to right on your radio dial. This time, Brown will operate out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. They have a little reverse coming around the outside. It's a reverse pass. He's looking to throw, but coming up to make the tackle. No, he breaks it from Baylor Kelly, and he's going to go all the way down to the 50 before he's finally knocked out of bounds. Michael Neely, the top receiver on the team, was looking to throw, but a great play call that time by Alan Berg. And they are all the way up to the midfield point.
It would have been a heck of a throw for a guy running, and the receiver was like 30 yards downfield. So if he was going to make a 35-yard throw on the run, that would have been tough. But excellent job by Neely to keep going around the corner. He had a couple of Hillmen in pursuit. And as you said, I thought they were going to push him out earlier, but he got down the sidelines, picked up a big gain, and got him almost right on the midfield.
Ball's on the right hash, right at the 50-yard line. He got away from Baylor Kelly. Not an easy person to get away from. So 1st and 10, their 3rd first down for the Lincoln Zebras. They'll operate under the shotgun. 1 tight end to the right, 2 receivers to the left. They give it to the back. He picks up a yard, it looks like. This time they gave it to Braden Bertuzzi. They've subbed out Brock Gaylor, so Bertuzzi gets up and he picks up a yard.
And that'll probably be, it looks like, the end of the first quarter as Bertuzzi goes in there and gets the Gaylor job and ends up just about like Gaylor did.
Averaging about a yard per carry. And that will do it. That will be the end of the first quarter. And the score as we take the break is Placer 14 and the Lincoln Fighting Zebras 0. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, AM and FM, your voice of the Foothills.
This is your home for Friday Night Football in the Foothills, 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
Well, we flip sides here, and Lincoln is officially in Placer territory, trailing this one 14-0. First play of the second quarter. Scott Gordon alongside Mark the Phantom Lowe. Ball is on the right hash. It is 2nd and 9. The quarterback is Joe Brown. He drops back to pass, looks left. Double move out to the side, and that's going to get knocked down. Double coverage on the play. There is a flag down on the play. He was trying to go to Michael Neely, and they think that Kiefer Abbs might have got in there a little bit early.
It looked like pretty good coverage, like you say, double coverage, but they are going to call on the Zebras.
The coverage was so good, I just think Abbs was looking to turn around and try to pick it off, but they do call pass interference. And the one thing, even though Placer leads 14-0, this is their second 15-yard penalty in this young game. They had the unsportsmanlike call last possession, that 2 possessions ago for Lincoln. This is moves it all the way down to the 34-yard line in Placer territory.
Yeah, we talked about in the keys of the game, staying healthy being one of them. Also playing a clean game, I think, is in there. I know for Coach Joe Montoya, you want to execute, and like you mentioned, 2 15-yard penalties is not executing in a game where you're just giving life to a team. That's kind of struggling.
Ball's down to the 34-yard line in Placer territory. They'll operate out of the shotgun. 2 backs. Brown, he's got a receiver right, 1 left. Gives it to the second running back through. He's going to pick up about 3 yards. That was Braden Bertazzi on the carry, who picks up 3 yards. Shotgun little sweep play there.
Yeah, I just don't want to. I hope they don't figure out, try to get Neely the ball out in space, because I think that was the only thing that's worked for him so far. Now, that was a kind of a halfback pass kind of play, but getting him to the outside, they haven't been able to get anybody to the outside on these sweeps or pitches yet.
The Lincoln offense is averaging 64 yards a game on the ground, 71 through the air, 135 total. They've got the ball at the Placer 31-yard line, working out of the I formation right in the middle of the field. They'll turn, give the sweep. It's Brock Gaylor. Gaylor, after a little bit of a break, cuts back, and he's going to go down. It looks like he picks up a first down. Runs very impressively there. He's brought down, but not before he picks up the first down. And that looks like it was Justin Willis on the stop.
Yeah, he got the pitch out, and the Placer defensive end almost stopped him right at the point where he caught the ball, but he made a really nice cutback and got the best running play besides the Neely run for the Zebras today.
Looks like that break that they gave him a little bit of energy there. So he goes down for the first down. So 3 straight first downs for Lincoln. They are deep in Placer territory. They've got it down to the 23, working from the right hash. Brown will operate out of the shotgun. 2 running backs, 1 left, 1 right. Fakes to the 1 on the left. He's under a ton of pressure, and he's going to be taken down for a sack. Great job by Ivan Da Silva to force the sack, and it looks like Nico Borden is the one that takes him down.
Yeah, Brown rolling to his left side. It looked like a play that should be constructed to make a quick throw, and it looked like he took his time, and once he looked downfield and didn't see anybody, he really didn't have anywhere to go, and trying to get around those Placer linemen, not an easy task.
Lost 6 yards on the play there. Good pursuit by the Placer defense. So 2nd and 16, ball is at the Placer 29-yard line. 10 minutes to go here, second quarter. Placer leading it 14-0. Jogging in and giving them the plays, the receiver, Michael Neely. Ball's on the left hash. 2 receivers here to the short side, tight end to the wide side. I formation. Brown goes with the pitch play. This time they go to Gaylor on the sweep. He comes around the outside, and he is met in the backfield and brought down. It's Luke Platzer and Ivan Da Silva. Back-to-back plays with a tackle for loss.
Tremendously impressive play right there as Gaylor got it out to the side, but it was strung out much better than the Hillmen did the last time he got the ball, and then Da Silva came in and just planted him in the backfield.
And bad news for the Lincoln Fighting Zebras. I believe that is Brock Gaylor, their leading running back, that is down on the play. Good news is Gaylor did get up. It is 3rd and 18 from the 31. Brock goes back to pass, throws it down, and it is knocked away by Luke Platzer. A good job right there. Brown on the play, just trying to hit a streaking receiver down the right-hand side. It looked like he was going to Michael Neely.
Yeah, real smart play by the Hillmen defensive backs, because all they did is the safety rolled over. He saw that he was going to be able to make the play and knocked it away, didn't try to intercept it or anything, just knocked it away, didn't try to get into the body of the receiver at all, and forces the 4th down.
Good job by the defensive back of looking back at the football and knocking it away, knowing where the receiver was. So it is 4th and 18 from the Placer 31. Lincoln will go for this. 3 receivers set right. That's the short side of the field. Tight end to the left. 1 running back standing to the right of the quarterback, Brown. He takes the snap, rolls back to pass. He's going to roll left. He's going to take off and try to run. He's going to cut back. He picks up some yards, but he'll be well short of the first down to get. He got 7 yards. He needed 31, and that's where Placer will take over. A nice job of making the tackle right there in the defensive backfield. It looked like it was Luke Placer.
Yeah, you needed 18 yards, and so even if the Placer defensive backs and linebackers retreated a little bit, they weren't going to retreat 18 yards, and once he crossed the line of scrimmage, they came up and closed him down.
And Baylor Kelly again on the stop there. So 4 possessions now for Lincoln, 3 punts and 1 turnover on downs. And Placer will take over for the first time in the second half. They give it to the second back through. It's Baylor Kelly. Outstanding defensive play by the linebacker, the sophomore Brock Gaylor, taking him down in the backfield.
Brock Gaylor doing it on both sides, and that was the first play that the Hillmen have had. It's been not only a negative play, but close to not a real big positive play, and give Gaylor a lot of credit.
Gaylor just a sophomore, 5'11", 170, 34 tackles, and that is his 4th tackle for loss. So give him 35 and 4. So this time they go with J.J. Willis in motion. They give it to him on the sweep. He breaks the tackle, picks up maybe a yard or 2, but it really looks like this Lincoln defense is stiffened, and he's going to pick up maybe 2 yards. This will bring up a 3rd and 12.
Maybe they got a talk from the coaches, or maybe just the leaders on the field decided to, step up and just kind of like go for it, and that's exactly what they've done, and they got the big play from Gaylor to start off this series, and probably looking for the Hillmen now to have to put it up.
Rocco Pipia was one of the players in, one of the outside linebackers making the stop. So just under 8 minutes to go here, second quarter. Placer leads it 14-0, but this is a 3rd and 11. Ball's on the left hash. They're going left to right on your radio dial. Ryan Miller will operate from the shotgun, straight back to pass. He's throwing the out route, comes out here, hits Placer. Placer's going to be close to first down yardage. They're going to give it to him. A good throw and catch, and right now Ryan Miller's 2 for 3 throwing the ball.
Yeah, very nice throw, but let's look at a new name. A wide receiver, Luke Placer, comes in, and not only does he make a good catch, but he's right at the sticks. He's right at the sticks. He knows enough to get past that first down marker and picked up a big first down for the Hillmen. So good play on all sides on that one. Well thrown and a good route by Placer, and maybe he's the guy who's going to come out and be that extra target for Ryan Miller.
One of Phantom's keys to the game, just his 2nd reception of the year. This time they go back to the ground. Deshaun Jones breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and falls forward, picks up another 5 yards, brought down on the play by Mac Drennan.
And that's the Deshaun Jones we're used to, getting a little physical, getting a little contact, and then getting 5 or 6 yards when he has no business doing it. And that's what he did that time, and picked up about 6 or 7.
Sean Jones, 6 touchdowns on the year, just his 3rd full game. They put Willis in motion. They give it to Kelly on the counter, and he's got a ton of room. He's going all the way. The 20, the 10, breaks the tackle. He is in the end zone. Touchdown, Placer. 7:05 to go in the second quarter, and Baylor Kelly on the inside counter play takes it along the sidelines, broke a tackle at the 20, and it is 20-0 Placer.
Great run, of course, by Baylor Kelly. Now the Zebra defensive line kind of sold out to stop the first guy, and that's worked a couple times. Kelly, the second guy, comes through, touchdown drive for the Hillmen, and look back at that conversion on 3rd down, that big pass play, the key play in that drive.
7:05 to play here in the second quarter. Placer Hillman going for the extra point. Ryan Miller to hold. Kevin Martinez to kick. He gets into it, and it is good. Placer now leads this one 21-0 in the first drive of the second half. And Baylor Kelly, so Placer's now had the ball 4 times. Baylor Kelly with 2 touchdowns and Sean Jones with 1.
Yeah, starting out to get the ball in the second quarter, go down and score. So Kelly, a couple of times we've seen him, and he did it on the first touchdown run. His cutback ability it's so good. And this time, once he got a kind of a half a step on somebody, you knew that even though they might have the angle on him, they're not catching him, and they didn't.
The drive's unofficially 47 yards, 62 yards, and a 70-yarder there. And really give them credit there. They had to convert a 3rd and 11, a nice throw by Ryan Miller to Luke Placer. And then they went to Sean Jones, and then they had to honor Sean Jones and gave it to Baylor Kelly.
Yeah, Jones popped through for 7, like we said, and all of a sudden they go after the first guy, and the second guy comes through and hurts you.
So Kevin Martinez is on. 2 of his 3 kicks have been in the end zone for touchbacks. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them online at auburntrophies.com. This one is fielded at the 5. A nice little return before he slips down by Michael Neely, and that is where Lincoln will take over about the 23.
I think the degree of difficulty on his catching kickoffs, that one was over his head at about the 5, and he reached up and snatched it out of the air and got back. You get back past the 20, it's a positive play right there for your team, but there's a lot of danger right there.
But as you mentioned, the degree of difficulty catching a line drive kick from 40 yards away over your head is not something they teach often.
No, he handled it easily. Now let's see if the Zebras can get something going offensively.
So they will take over at the 24. It will still be Joe Brown in at quarterback. 2 receivers set left, I formation, tight end to the right. Turn, fake it to Gaylor. Trying to go play action over the middle. He throws, and he had a receiver wide open. Michael Neely just overthrew him. Good design play, but the pass was too high. Falls incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Neely just got to about the 32 or 33-yard line and sat down right there, and he was wide open. And for the first time, Brown had a little bit of time to wait and see his receiver get open, and like you say, just threw it a little bit too high for Neely.
Well, they haven't shown that look yet, an I-formation pass, so they faked it to Brock Gaylor, who's been running a little bit better, and Neely was open. He is the leading receiver. Came into the game 30 catches, 298 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Had a pretty exciting reverse play earlier in the game as well. 2nd down and 10. Right hash, they're going right to left. As they give it the shotgun give inside, he's just not going to go anywhere. The first running back through, they're going to maybe mark the forward progress for a yard. They'll bring up a 3rd and 9. Brought down on the play by Ivan De Silva.
Yeah, my guys in the 70s are doing pretty well from the front line. I think they're just going to sit there and wait for anybody that comes their way and put him down, and then they'll let Alba grab him if they don't get him.
Nico Borden, Ivan De Silva, Valentino Oristudo, all doing their job, and Justin Alba. They're giving Jaden Erickson a bit of a rest, but a very impressive group up front. So it's 3rd and 9. The ball's at the 25-yard line. Placer won the toss, so they'll get it first in the second half. Ball is almost in the middle of the field. Trips receivers to the left side. Brown will operate out of the shotgun. He's got a running back right next to him. Takes a 3-step drop, steps up, he's got a little bit of lane to throw. He's going to throw it down. This one's going to be picked off by Kiefer Abs. He overthrows the receiver. Abs is going to take it down the sidelines, and he runs over Brown as the quarterback at the 11, and that is where Placer will take over. And Kiefer Abs, a great interception.
Yeah, that was perfect for a defensive back because he was just standing back there waiting. He's just waiting. He's watching, looking at Joe Brown's eyes. Brown puts it up to his receiver. Abs just knows where the ball is more than the receiver did. I think he kind of tracked it and just waited for it to come to him.
Brown broke away from the rush, stepped up, looked like he was going to run, and then decided to throw it again. Threw it a little bit high to the receiver. Kiefer Abs was right there. Returned it all the way down to the 10, brought down on the play by Brown. They give it inside to Sean Jones, and Jones doesn't get hit until he gets to the 4 and then spins his way down to the 2. So 2nd and goal from the 2 for Sean Jones, who already has a touchdown on the night.
Yeah, and he got 8 yards right there, and it looks like momentarily the Fighting Zebras stopped him on a couple of running plays, but now the Hillmen are back. The machinery is back in motion.
2nd and goal at the 2. It is 21-0. Placer has it at the Fighting Zebras 2-yard line. They turn, they give it to Baylor Kelly, and Baylor Kelly walks in untouched for the 3rd touchdown of the night. And Placer has opened things up. They're up 27-0 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the first half.
And I don't think Joey Montoya could ask for anything more. The only thing is he's let a couple, that last drive by the Zebras before this, a couple of plays were successful, but they stopped him eventually and came back and scored. He's got Abs is on all cylinders. Baylor Kelly is running great. Sean Jones is running great. We haven't even really seen Jaden Erickson that much tonight as far as that's concerned. And Ryan Miller has thrown the ball very well on the times that he's thrown today.
Been able to keep Parker Kelly on the defensive side. So Kevin Martinez on for the fourth time for his extra point. He's 3 for 3 so far tonight. And now he is 4 for 4. Martinez continues to be a great weapon as a Fighting Zebra lays on the ground. There is a penalty flag down. Let's see what the call is.
The Zebras, as you said, not a lot of guys on the roster, so you hate to see somebody go down with an injury. We saw Gaylor go out before, but he was able to come back in. Hopefully that's the same way. We got an injured player looks to be jogging off the field now.
Well, there was a personal foul called on Lincoln, and to add insult to injury, the young man that was injured got an earful as he jogged to the sideline. So,
well, that'll give Martinez, 15 yards on the kickoff or 10 yards on the kickoff, so I think he's going to have no problem putting it in the end zone.
So the ball will be at the 40. He's going to kick it off from, it goes all the way to the 45, actually. So it'll be the personal foul will bring it up to, so Placer will be kicking off in Lincoln territory already. They lead this one 28-0.
Let's see if he tries a squib kick. Remember we saw him do a squib kick a couple of times. And not the onside kick squib kick, but just a squib kick to try the play to get it down maybe to about the 5 or 10 yard line. Make him pick it up there.
He's going to try to put this to the goalpost, I bet.
Oh, if he does, I say 3 points.
So Placer to kick off. It'll be Kevin Martinez. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway, and he almost kicked it through the uprights. Would have been a heck of a kick.
Would have been 55 yards, and that would have been a heck of a kick. It was, as a friend of mine used to say, more close than not close. Huh? Think about that one.
Yeah, no, I am.
Think about that one and get back to me.
I'll write that one down.
I've already written it down. I've got it on a pillow.
Turnover. Okay. So another touchback. Lincoln will take over at their own 20, trailing this one 28-0. They had the ball first in their possession so far tonight. They have punted 3 times, turned it over on downs, and had an interception. This will be their 6th possession. We're in the second quarter. Placer's had the ball 5 times, scored on 4, and had an interception on their first possession, but has really taken over since.
And Zebras are just looking for something that works. They can sustain something here.
New quarterback is in. It's Duff. He turns, gives it to Gaylor inside, pickup of about 8 yards, and he'll be up close to a first down. A nice little carry on first down.
Yeah, we do see a lot of late substitutions on the Fighting Zebras, and sometimes guys coming in from the side like they didn't know they were supposed to be in. So I'm wondering if they're moving people around in different positions so they're not used to the various combinations of personnel.
Well, this will be the 3rd player that they've had at quarterback. They've played Brock Gaylor, Joe Brown, and now Eli Duff. They'll operate from the I formation. They give it to Gaylor. Gaylor runs right into Parker Kelly, and he's going to be just short of the first down. A nice job by getting pushed. It will be 3rd and 1 for the Fighting Zebras.
And I'm sure that Coach Joey Montoya and Coach Eric Rodardi are on the sidelines. They don't want to give up any cheap points here at the end of the half. Let the guys let down a little bit. Things have been going, obviously, their way for the first quarter and a half, so they want them to maintain that same edge.
The snap will take off at about 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go for the Fighting Zebras. Placer leads this one 28-0. It is 3rd and 1. Duff is the quarterback. He turns, gives it inside to Gaylor, who breaks a tackle in the backfield. He is going to get the first down, a 3-yard pickup. He was hit in the backfield, bounced away from it, and his effort got them a first down.
Yeah, he's a very impressive runner, very physical runner. He's just not having a lot of room to run so far from what the statistics tell us, hasn't had a lot of room to run against the quality of opposition that Lincoln played in the preseason, as we were talking about in our pregame show. They play some really good teams, and now going up here against Placer, just not a lot of room for Gaylor to run inside.
Well, think about this, Phantom. Eli Duff, the quarterback, 6'2", 170, just a sophomore. Brock Gaylor, 5'11", 170, just a sophomore. And the entire starting offensive line are juniors. This is a team we'll see in its exact form next year.
Absolutely.
1st and 10, ball's at the 32. Joe Duff will operate from the shotgun. He's got one receiver left, one right. He's going to throw the fade route out to the right side. He's trying to get it out to Michael Neely, and that fall is incomplete. Defending on the play was Luke Platzer.
I like how you took Joe Brown and Eli Duff and made it Joe Duff, because that was really cool the way he did that. That was awesome. He threw it out there, and the receiver didn't know where it was, and the defensive back didn't know where it was. So actually, we'll go back to the drawing board on that one.
Eli Duff's brother, Joe.
I like that name, Joe Duff.
Yeah. Well, you keep switching quarterbacks on me.
So you keep switching names on them? I've done it many times.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Go get him, Steve.
So, nice work there, Feeble. Eli Duff is the quarterback. Pass was incomplete to Michael Neely. 2nd and 10, ball at the 32. They give it to the running back. He's just not going to find anything. Brought down on the play by Justice Alba and Valentino Oristudo. And Joey Montoya is going to take one of his 3 timeouts to preserve the time, as Placer will want the ball one more time before halftime. Three minutes, 19 seconds to go in the first half. Placer leads at 28-0. Duff, little play action. Throws it over the middle. He's got a receiver. He went up, tried to one-hand it, Michael Neely, and that will fall incomplete. So Placer does not have to burn their 2nd or 3rd timeout. It'll be 4th and 11 for the Fighting Zebras.
Pretty good throw by Duff under pressure. He got rid of it, and he had guys all over him. And I thought Neely was going to come down with it. He kind of had to reach back a little bit. He's kind of looking for holes in the Placer defensive backfield, and then he kind of, like as an afterthought, looked back for the ball and wasn't able to make the catch.
Good play design coming out of the timeout. Receiver was open. Would have been good enough for the first down, but nonetheless it falls short. So it'll be 4th and 10 at the 32, actually 4th and 11, and that'll bring on Lane Tingley, and he will kick it. This will go pretty high. Good kick. Fair caught by Platzer, who drops it again, but he falls on top of it at the 32.
Yeah, that's not something that Joey Montoya is going to want to see. The amount of the punts that he's seen mishandled by Platzer, who came out and made a tremendous catch as a wide receiver back in the last drive.
So Placer will take over at the 34-yard line in their own territory. They're going left to right on your radio dial, operating from the right hash. They have 2 timeouts to go and lead this one 28-0. 3:07 to play, second quarter.
And as you always say, remember, Placer gets the ball to start the second half as well.
Ryan Miller will operate from the shotgun. He fakes it to Sean Jones, gives it to J.J. Willis around the end, and Justin's got a little bit of an edge. Great arm, stiff arm. He's breaking tackles. He's cutting back, and he takes it all the way up to the 52. Great job of stiff-arming would-be tacklers as Willis gets it all the way up to the 46, and we have an injured Zebra down on the field.
It looked like a play that was going to be a successful play, but maybe about 8, 9, 10 yards. Then all of a sudden Willis just kept going, bounced off one, bounced off another, and turned into a huge game down to the 46 of the Fighting Zebras.
Good news for the Zebras. Madden Bissett, who was injured, did get up and walk to the sideline. So Placer already has the ball down to the 46 in Lincoln territory. It's on the left hash. Miller will stay out of the shotgun, turns and gives it to Sean Jones. Jones has a huge hole and runs over the defensive back, and they are going to mark him 1 yard short of the first down. So it'll be 2nd and 1. Clock's moving. Less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here, first half.
And again, a great job by the offensive line, opening hole for Sean Jones, who hit it hard, and then almost pulled out of that tackle and picked up 9 yards.
Runs a lot like Coastal Lexic. This time, 2nd and 1. Quick throw out to the side. Good little pitch and catch. They get it to Luke Platzer. His second catch of the night. He's smart, gets it out of bounds. First down, Placer.
Good job. I love seeing that. We talked about it before the game. You need to get some new faces in the receiving corps, and Platzer's come out and made 2 fine catches in this, and Miller has laid it right on the money both times.
Miller really looked sharp tonight, Phantom. He's 3 for 4. Great throw to Kiefer Abs and 2 completions to Luke Platzer. Yep. Ball is on the right hash, 20-yard line in Fighting Zebra territory. They go underneath. They give it to Sean Jones. Jones has a pretty good size hole. He bounces through it, and he's carrying people. He got into the end zone. 20-yard touchdown run for the sophomore who was hit at about the 5, Phantom, and carried tacklers all the way in the end zone. Another touchdown, the second of the night for Sean Jones. And as Coach Joey Montoya said, you haven't seen the best of him yet.
No, you haven't seen. Well, we're seeing it now. Kind of a pinball run right there because he hit a couple of bumpers. He hit a couple of things in the middle, lit up a couple of lights, bounced off this guy, bounced off that guy, used the flipper, got himself into the end zone.
7 touchdowns on the season. It is 34-0 Placer with 2:09 to go. Kevin Martinez will come on for his 5th extra point of the night. Snap is back, kick is down, it is up, and it is good. And it is 35-0 Placer, and they have done it almost all on the ground. They've had some great pitch and catches, but 3 touchdowns by Baylor Kelly and 2 by Sean Jones. Really an impressive performance so far for the Placer Hillmen. As Kevin Martinez gets into, Phantom, to the kick. Brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them online at auburntrophies.com. This one is fielded by Braden Bertozzi. He runs upfield, and he's going to be brought down on the play. Excellent tackle on the play by Merrick Arizello.
Yeah, and you mentioned Luke Placer. It's not a name I thought we were going to say has 2 receptions at halftime. That was not my thought. I didn't know who was going to step into that passing game. I didn't know it would be Luke, but he's looked very good out there as a wide receiver, as a compliment to Kiefer Abbs, who's been fantastic, especially the last 4 or 5 games.
Kiefer Abbs doing it on both sides of the ball. Had an interception last week, had one also today. And the Placer defense has become much more opportunistic during this last 3 games.
And they know that Lincoln has to put the ball in the air pretty much to try to get something going, and they are waiting in the backfield and seeing if whichever quarterback, Joe Brown or Eli Duff, whoever happens to be, is on target or not.
2 minutes and 2 seconds to go, first half. It will be Eli Duff. He will operate underneath the center. Ball's on the left hash. He'll turn, give it to the running back. Nice cut at the line of scrimmage. Picks up maybe 2 yards before he runs into a wall of linebackers. Looks like Daniel Maldonado and Parker Kelly in on the stop.
Yeah, great point, because even when you get past the big defensive line that Placer's got out there, the big guys in the 70s, you've got linebackers who are anchoring in their spots and staying home, and they're there, and they're very sure tacklers tonight. That's just taken one of them to take the running back down.
1 minute and 30 seconds to go in the first half. It is all Placer. They lead this one 35-0. They get the ball first in the second half. And it looks like Placer's going to be content to hold on to those 2 timeouts and let Lincoln run the clock out. Ball's in the middle of the field. 1 receiver right, 1 left, 2 backs, 1 on each side of the quarterback, Eli Duff. He gets set to take the snap, gives it to Brock Gaylor, the running back. He's trying to find some running room, and he gets stuffed after a pickup of about 2 or 3 on the play. And again, a great job of coming up and making the stop is J.J. Willis. Another tackle by number 8.
And it looks like we're going to have a time. I think the Hillmen were going to call time anyway, but we've got a player down on the field, so we're going to get a timeout anyway.
Well, we'll go ahead and step aside as well. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, AM and FM, your voice of the foothills. So the injured player for Lincoln was Keaton Brown. Good news is he walked off the field. So just under a minute to play, and Duff remains at quarterback. Eli Duff, 6'2", 170, sophomore. I formation, tight end to the right. They give it to Brock Gaylor. He meets Daniel Maldonado in the hole, and Maldonado drives him back. So that was a 3rd and 6, and Placer will take their 3rd and final timeout, and Lincoln will have to punt. Next week, Placer will be on the road. They will be playing Nevada Union. Note the start time. 7 o'clock is the start time out in Grass Valley. It'll be Phantom calling it alongside our good friend Jordan Georgeson, who is on our KAHI Coaches Show each week. This punt is going to be short, and they're going to gets a good Lincoln roll down to about the 35. As Kiefer Abbs came in to return that punt, which I'm not surprised, a little bit of a change back on the return man.
Yeah, a good move by Kiefer Abbs. Sometimes you just got to know when not to catch the ball, and that's exactly what he done. That would have been a difficult play. And you mentioned the Coaches Show, Scott. Remember that the 3rd segment of the Coaches Show, we call it the Round Table. That is on the Stones Radio Network's YouTube page. You can go to YouTube, put in Stones Radio Networks, and go to the site or go to the channel, and you've got that 3rd segment, the Round Table segment of the KAHI Coaches Show right there for you. You can enjoy it again and look at Scott and Jordan.
44 seconds to go. 1st and 10. Ryan Miller back to pass. Throws it wide open. Jeremiah Reethy on the catch. He did not get the first. No, they did say he got the first down. So he is now 5 for 6 on the play, and one of the receivers is down and injured, and that might be Reethy as he's down on the field. It'll be an injury timeout.
It looked like he was tackled and came down on his shoulder, and it was a good pitch and catch by Miller to Reethy. Hopefully he is okay, obviously.
Again, one of the things you talked about with 34 seconds to play here in the first half in a game you're up 35-0 is health, to keep healthy for the next couple of weeks. And Reethy made a nice catch and then looks like he hurt his arm or his shoulder as he's laying on the ground.
It was a good tackle by the Zebras, but Reethy is a guy we've talked about. Had his hands on the ball last week and dropped it, and had one hand on the ball today and went off his hands and went into it, was intercepted. So I think Coach Joey Montoya just wants to get Reethy a couple of catches to build his confidence up.
And it looks like with that, they're going to go ahead and say that's the last play of the first half, and Joey Montoya has taken his headsets off. They were going to try to move down the field and get some points, but I think he decided after watching his starting tight end get hurt that is enough. As the clock winds down, will wind down here in the first half. It has been all Placer as they lead this one 35-0. They get the ball first in the second half. We'll come back with our Dr. Hines scoreboard in about 10 minutes, but we're going to step aside here, and you're listening to Placer Football. Again, they lead this one 35-0. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, FM and AM, your voice of the Foothills.
Welcome the Classified Red Star Drumline. The drumline captain is Casey Klink. The drumline will perform Raptor.
Welcome back to the Feber Stadium here on the campus of Placer High School. Placer leads this game 35-0. How about that halftime show, Phantom?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. They got all the youth. They got the middle school bands and everybody out there. They got all the junior Hillmen football players they introduced. It was fantastic. The crowd was going nuts.
It was awesome. They had every level of Pop Warner Junior Hillman football here. All the parents, cheerleaders, everything. A phenomenal 20-minute halftime. Placer will start off the second half getting the ball. They won the toss, deferred to the second half. So it'll be Tingley.
Willis and Kelly back in for the Hillmen.
Lane Tingy, number 4, will do the kick. He kicks it off. It's a short kick, goes out to Landon Fowler, fielded about the 25, and that's where Placer will take over.
Yeah, kind of a pooch kick, and Fowler just let it bounce once, got it, and just went straight down to the ground. Interesting to see the approach, and interesting to see the personnel that the Hillmen put out there to start the second half.
Looks like they're going to come out with the starters. The only difference, Phantom, is obviously the last play of the first half. Sophomore tight end Jeremiah Reethy had a catch, went down, looked to be in a lot of pain. That was the last play of the first half. He has not returned to the sidelines or the game right now, so they have their starters mostly up front. They'll start off, they'll be on their left, on the left hash, 26-yard line. Ryan Miller breaks the huddle, turns, gives it to Sean Jones. Jones has a pretty good hole, eludes the tackler. He's upfield, and he picks up another first down, and he pretty much picks up where things left off, gets 12 yards on first down.
Pretty much, Scott, sets the tone for the Placer offensive attack. If Jones can get that big chunk on first down, that'll get a first down. That time he did. But if he doesn't get 6, 7, 8 yards, it really sets up the rest of the drive for the Hillmen.
Had a nice chance to meet Sean Jones' mom before the game over at the snack bar.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and it was great. Always go over before the game and get a slice of pizza or something. He has 10 touchdowns on the season. We've corrected that. First time we'll see Jaden Erickson inside with the carry. He breaks the tackle, and he's through all the way down to the 30-yard line of the Zebras. Looked like he was going to be stopped short out of about a 5-yard pickup, and he just ran right through the tacklers all the way down to the. They're going to mark him at the 28. And Phantom, we've talked about it. He does a great job of securing the football downfield. Yeah,
Jaden Erickson, two-way player, and he hasn't had a lot of carries today. He's had a pretty good season as far as 41 carries on the year for over 300 yards. A real good per carry average.
Now they're giving it to Baylor Kelly on the sweep play. He's got a bit of an edge, and he catches his balance. He's going to go into the end zone, touchdown, and just like that, in under 2 minutes, Placer comes out. They go Sean Jones for 12, Jaden Erickson for more than 20. Run a sweep play to Baylor Kelly around the end, and they now lead it 41-0. As we've got a running clock situation, it is all Placer here early in the third quarter.
Yeah, and we saw a couple of Lincoln defenders almost knock Baylor Kelly down. We haven't had to see him use his balance that much this year, but he righted himself, and once he righted himself, there was no one between him and the end zone.
About the 15-yard line, looked like he might go down, put his hand in the ground. He's got phenomenal balance. See if Kevin Martinez can remain perfect. He is 5 for 5 on the night. Snap is down, kick is up. And it is good, and right now it is 42-0 in favor of the Placer Hillmen. And get the ball first in the second half. You go 3 plays, 64 yards for the touchdown.
Pretty good, but I've got to say, I got to settle the beef with you, if I may. I mean, you're telling me all about you go over there before the game, you talk to Sean Jones' mom, you get a pizza and stuff.
One slice.
So, yeah, you got a slice of pizza. We call it a pizza, slice, whatever.
Yeah.
I go down there at halftime.
Yeah.
I'm saying, hey, how about something, for the effort? And they gave me a slice of pizza, and I took it. I started to walk away. Hey, $2.50, man. Come on.
You don't eat pizza.
Come on.
I know differently.
I was just trying to see if I would get the same treatment
I went
you
down
got.
there with you last time. They
nothing.
said, what do you want? You looked at me. You kind of gave me the Atkins diet stare down. You're like, I don't eat pizza, Scott.
Yeah, well, you know what happens when I try to get it, I don't get the same deal you do.
Got to go down pregame.
All right, I'll work on that next time.
But it didn't work at Ponderosa for those of you scoring at home.
Yeah, well, you were trying to there was a very varied menu you were trying to score at Ponderosa.
That was good stuff there.
Oh, man. Good stuff here as well, sir.
42-0 Placer. Kevin Martinez gets in it. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway. It's fielded at the 5, will be returned up the right hash to about the 24, and that's where the Fighting Zebras will take over on offense. We saw 2 quarterbacks in the first half. Joe Brown played the first quarter, gave way to Eli Duff. Their best drive went all the way down inside the Plaster 25, and then they were hit with 2 negative plays that ended up turning it over on downs.
I would think that one thing that Lincoln would like to do this season, as we've talked about, they have almost everybody coming back, is settle on which guy they're going to have as their quarterback. And go ahead and go into your off-season and your workouts, and you talk about that, the off-season workouts and training and stuff like that, 7-on-7s and all that stuff. Go in there knowing who your quarterback is, because for the most part, these kids are talented enough they can take another position if they're not the quarterback.
As you mentioned, Brock Gaylor started the season as the quarterback, is now the tailback. They're in the I formation. It is still Duff. He gives it to Gaylor. Gaylor picks up about 7 or 8 yards. Good hole that time. Little I formation power play for about 6 yards.
He's a good, strong runner, and as you pointed out a couple of times, their whole offensive line will be returning next year. They're all junior in the junior class, and so that's going to help Gaylor, because a lot of times he seems to be running uphill against some of these defensive lines.
Some new bodies checking in for the Placer Hillmen on the defensive side of the ball. See Connor Atkinson check in at the defensive line spot. Also saw Uriah Nash jog onto the field as well as they make some substitutions, leading this one 42-0. This time Duff will operate out of the shotgun. The ball is at the 31. 1 receiver left, 1 right, 1 running back to each side of him. Ball's on the right hash. 2nd and 3. Taking his time on the snap. And he will wait till his offense puts their hand on the ground. He hands it to Gaylor, and Gaylor's tackled in the backfield. Good penetration that time. Looked like he was trying to cut back, but he slipped there.
Yeah, and it took a long time to call that play. A pretty basic play, and the first guy went through. Gaylor got the ball, and again, the penetration from the defensive line, whichever defensive linemen are in there, has been impressive.
5 minutes and 50 seconds to go for the 3rd week in a row. Placer, after starting 0-4 against a brutal schedule, has gone with a running clock. First 63-14 win over Rio Linda, who came into that game 3-1. Last week against Ponderosa in a game that was 7-7, ended up being 42-14. This time Duff will work out of the I formation. It's 3rd and 3. The tailback is Brock Gaylor. Fullback stands in front of him. They turn, they give it to Gaylor. He hits the hole, carries tacklers forward, and he will pick up the first down. A 4-yard pickup when he needed 3. First down for the Zebras.
And that's exactly what the Zebras are going to be doing this entire half, Scott. It's just trying to work out, just trying to get everybody on the same page and get a drive, sustain a drive, try to get it at least into Placer territory, and obviously try to put some points up on the board.
First drive of the second half for the Lincoln Fighting Zebras. They come into this game 0-6. They punted 4 times in the first half, had 1 interception, 1 turnover on downs. They trail this one 42-0. Quarterback that's on the field is Eli Duff, a sophomore. He's handing it off to Brock Gaylor, who is also a sophomore. So 1st and 10, ball is up at the 36. Spotted on the right hash. Zebras are going right to left on your radio dial. 1 receiver left, 1 right. They turn. They give this one to the fullback inside. Good hard running, but he's met after a pick of about 2. Great job on the tackle by J.J. Willis. Justin Willis on the stop.
Justin Willis playing both ways. He's had a couple of really impressive offensive touches here, but I think he might add more to the Hillmen by his prowess on the defensive side of the ball.
Sean Jones is checked into the game as a linebacker, so he's playing a little bit on defense as well, too. Kind of like Coastal Lexic used to.
Absolutely, and Coastal was valuable as both offensive and a defensive player. Sean Jones, I kind of want to wrap that guy in bubble wrap. I don't know if I want to put him out there. I want to just put him on the side and let him sit down and take a rest. Give him a lemonade or something. Have Mom bring him a slice of pizza.
You haven't touched your lemonade Gatorade. You can bring it down to him.
I could certainly do that, although I'd have to go all the way down there. I wouldn't be able to make it back up in time, No,
I hope we'll be fine.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
They're quick.
Really?
3 receivers left, 2nd and 9. Ball at the 37. Duff will operate from the shotgun. Running back standing to his left. Tight end to the right. Gives it to the running back. Runs up inside. Picks up of about 4. I think that was Lane Tingy, the junior running back, 5'9", 155. Came into this game with 52 carries, got 3 on that play.
Yeah, he had 52 carries, as we talked about. Gaylor with 42 carries, and Brown was 30 for 64. Duff wasn't really. I didn't have any stats for Duff as far as this initial game as quarterback.
They've put him in a couple games at quarterback. When we talked to Coach Bird earlier this week, said we definitely see him as you mentioned. That's one of the things. You've had 3 different guys play quarterback, and that is the most important position on the field. So when you look at them, I think they really are playing for next season to see who's going to play where.
And as you said, do you have Gaylor at quarterback? Now you find out he's a good running back. You got him there. You don't know if Joe Brown or Duff, which one could play somewhere else as well.
3rd and 6. I formation, tight end to the right, 2 receivers left. Ball's on the right hash. This time Duff turns, fakes it to Gaylor, and then, it's Tingy, and throws it to him. So a nice little play action, play to the tailback, and then he throws to the tailback who goes right up the seam. That is their best pass completion so far tonight. And they are inside Placer territory all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and we talk about play construction a lot, up here, Scott, and that one was as good as one we've seen for a while. And faking the handoff to the running back and then immediately making him the primary receiver and dropping the ball over the defensive line. Duff with a really nice touch pass right there.
Well-designed play by the former defensive coordinator, Alan Berg, now the offensive coordinator. A lot of the times people forget the running back, when you fake it to him, goes wide open, and he was there. They still have the ball on the right hash, down to the 37, 1:30 to play here, 3rd quarter. Duff will give it this time. Brock Gaylor is back in. He's fighting tackles. He'll get up about 4 or 5 yards. Hard runner, earns every yard he gets, and he picks up 4 there.
And this is, I think, how Lincoln would envision it. They want to go ahead, they want to move the ball a little bit on the ground, and they are getting some good chunks of yard on some of those running plays. Then they mix in the pass play, give Duff a good chance to complete it it's not a long pass that he threw, but it was a pass that was very successful. So I think this is exactly what Coach would want the Zebras to do in this situation.
It was a 3rd down conversion, and now they've got the ball down to the Placer 33-yard line. Under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Placer leading it 42-0. We do have a running clock, but the Zebras are on the move, going right to left on your radio dial. 3 running backs in the backfield. Eli Duff, the quarterback, the sophomore, under center. Turns, gives it to the first back through, powers through, picks up about 2. But he is met after a short gain. Great job of literally picking up his legs and driving him back. The defensive line there it looks like Justin Willis was on the stop, and also Sean Jones.
Yeah, not a lot of trickery you can do out of that full house backfield, and it looks like that's probably going to be the end of the 3rd quarter.
And that will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. So as we go into the 4th quarter, it's all Placer. They lead this one 42-0 from Lefebvre Stadium here on the campus of Placer High School, as it looks like they'll be heading into their 3rd straight victory. You're listening to Placer Football on KAHI, AM and FM, your voice of the foothills. 4th quarter will start off here at Lefebvre Stadium. 3rd and 5 for the Lincoln Fighting Zebras. They are at the Placer 32, trailing this one 42-0. Full house backfield, 3 backs. Turn, give it to the second man through. That's Brock Gaylor, their big running back, and he's going to get 4 yards and come up about a yard short. Shoved down on the play again. That looked like he was brought down on the play by Merrick Arizello.
He was very impressive last week, and I think Gaylor likes being the second man through. It looked like he got a little bit had of steam that time and got the ball. He had a little chance to pick where he wanted to run, as opposed to when he's the first guy through.
Doesn't he strike you, Phantom, as somebody, once he learns to be a little patient and find the hole, can just go?
Yeah, as we talked about with that all junior offensive line, those holes are going to open up more and more.
So here we go, 4th and 1 for Lincoln. Ball's on the 28 in Placer territory. Full house backfield. They go quarterback sneak, and they push, and they got it. Good little play call. All 3 running backs push Eli Duff, and they pick up the first down in a plain play emblematic of what we see with the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, the pusher man play, I call it, and I don't like it, and no one likes it, but it's just part of the game. But give the credit to it was a quarterback sneak situation, whether you do the push or not, as far as Lincoln was concerned, and they grabbed enough yardage to sustain the drive, which is exactly what they want to do, is get a taste, a little taste of success here in the 4th quarter.
Just about 10 minutes to play here. Placer leads this one 42-0 against Lincoln. Lincoln is taking their time. Each team's only had one possession in the second half. Placer scored on theirs 3 plays. They won 72 yards, ended with a touchdown run by Baylor Kelly. Quarterback in the second half for Lincoln has been Eli Duff. They've stayed in this power I formation. They give it to the first man through. That's number 4, Lane Tingy, also the punter and kicker, and he picks up about 2 yards. Tackled on the play, it looked like at the bottom of the pile there was Uriah Nash, number 77.
Yeah, it may be fourth quarter, it may be running clock, but there's still some hitting being done on those lines on both sides. And Placer is it's a matter of pride. They're not going to let you get yardage right up the middle.
Pickup of 3 yards, so now 2nd and 7 at the Placer 22. This is the deepest penetration of the night for Lincoln. They are taking their time each play. They have 40 seconds between when the ball is spotted from the prior play until the next one. They break the huddle, jog up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver left. That is Michael Neely. 3 receivers in the backfield. 3 running backs in the backfield. They fake. They're going to go out to the end. Stafili makes the catch, and he's going to jog into the end zone for the touchdown. So Michael Neely takes the throw from Eli Duff, just a simple fade route there, one-on-one coverage. He faked it underneath. They've been running it so effectively up the middle. Little fake that time, and Eli Duff threw it out there. Nice catch by Michael Neely, who jogged in the end zone, and they get their first 6 points of the night to the Fighting Zebras from Lincoln.
Just an example of the defensive back didn't really pick the ball up. Neely looked back. He saw where the ball was. Defensive back had his back turned. He was in the right area, just had his back turned, and Neely made the catch and sidestepped his way into the end zone.
Lane Tingy on to kick. Gaylor to hold. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, the Fighting Zebras have actually got on the board, now trail this one 42-7.
And give them credit. That's exactly what we said they needed to do, is get a bit of success and get a sustained drive, and that's exactly what they did. Gaylor carried the ball. They put the ball in the air, got it to Neely, who I don't think really just from the outside has touched the ball enough as far as what I've seen of Lincoln. I think he's a pretty talented player, and he needs to have the ball in his hands. They have looked for him a couple times, but it's been good defensive coverage by the Hillmen, and he came out on top that time.
Michael Neely, 6'2", 160, also a junior. And Eli Duff has been pretty impressive as the quarterback, obviously going up against the twos, but maybe settling in there. He can also play tight end. Saw Joe Brown a little bit, and Brock Gaylor has ran the ball very hard and effectively for the Lincoln Fighting Zebras.
Yeah, they've had some bright spots. Again, one of their brightest spots is the fact that they're all learning on the job together, and now we're having everybody's went to the wrong side of the field. It's a Keystone Cop kind of situation there.
This is fantastic. You only get this in high school football, where Placer is so used to being on the other side and returning that they forgot that they have gone to the fourth quarter. So they ran out on one side, Lincoln ran out on the other, and now they're switching sides back and forth. And
the best thing, I think, was the Placer front guys turned to the guys who were deep and waved them like they knew all along, and the deep guys were the dumb guys that went the wrong way. Hey, come on, we got to go over here, guys. Come on. What's wrong with you guys? And Lincoln came out. They had no idea where to go. They just said, you take a side, we'll go the other way.
We'll go the other way.
We'll go the other way.
Shirts and skins situation.
Exactly.
So Lane Tingy to kick off. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. You can find them at 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fither Green Plaza. A little squib pooch kick lands at about the 30-yard line and bounced back, and Parker Kelly smartly fell on that. It fell right between Landon Fowler and Parker Kelly, but Parker Kelly jumped on it. So here comes the Placer offense.
Yeah, Parker Kelly, he went over his head, and he could have just waited and saw who behind him who picked it up, but he turned around and it bounced right back to him. So very alert play by Parker Kelly.
Less than 6 minutes to play here at Lefebvre Stadium. It is all Placer. They lead this one 42-7. As some new numbers jog onto the field with quarterback Ryan Miller. Sean Jones with 2 touchdowns tonight, giving him 10 on the season, and Baylor Kelly with 4. Ryan Miller will turn. He'll give it to Baylor Kelly again. Kelly on the sweep. Runs around the outside, finds a little bit of room, and he has hit hard after a pickup of about 3 or 4 yards. And got 4 yards, but was met and tackled well on the defensive spot by Cole McGuire.
Good play by the Fighting Zebras. Like you say, we got getting some new numbers. Looks like Landon Fowler coming into the backfield. He's carried the ball a lot already this season. I think we saw also Seth Hurd came in, number 30 for the Hillmen.
Andrew Trinket checking in on the offensive line, former starter on one side. Started with Ivan De Silva, Freddie Billings, Owen Packheiser, the sophomore, Connor Atkinson, and Valentino Oristudo. But they have subbed out some of those players. And Wyatt Lamar is in now at center, the junior. They go out of a T formation. They give it to, looks like Landon Fowler. Fowler is going to be caught after a pickup of about 2 yards.
Good to see Landon Fowler carrying the ball again. Good to see some new numbers. Our guy Cody Wickwire also came back in the game, or maybe made his first appearance, number 24, now wearing number 24.
Correction, Jaden Erickson was on the carry, and he picked up about 2 yards. This will be a 3rd and 5. Just about 4 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. It is 42-7 Placer. They led at halftime 35-0. Teams have traded touchdowns in the second half. Ryan Miller sends it inside. That's Jaden Erickson again, and Erickson will get up to about the 47, secures the ball on that under that left arm, and gets it all the way out, actually to about the 48. First down, Placer.
Yeah, that inside counter play, as you've seen, has been really successful almost all the time for Placer, especially so tonight, and especially so it seems for Jaden Erickson, a big play in his arsenal.
It's amazing he came into this game almost 40 carries and be able to go to a player like that in the second half and continue to build the depth that we talked about and the keys of the game as we wind down to about 3 minutes to go in the game. All the coaches have their headsets off. They're moving receivers up and telling them where to stand. 1st and 10 at the 48. Jaden Erickson again. They'll give it to him around the edge of the sweep. Outstanding job on the tackle. Nice job coming up making the play by Bon Pham.
Excellent open field tackle as Erickson had a little bit of steam built up.
Bon Pham only stands 5'7", 155, and Erickson is a big boy, 5'10", 165, runs a lot bigger than that, and Pham made a nice tackle for the Fighting Zebras.
Let me guess, another junior, Bon Pham?
He's a junior.
Yep, thought so.
2nd down and 9.
I'm going to ask you, how many seniors do you think are on the roster?
I'm going to say 6.
I went to Arizona, so let me count this.
It'll take you a while.
Good throw out to the side, and they'll pick up a first down. Ryan Miller with a good little toss. That pass is completed out to the side. It looks like Seth Hurd on the reception. First down, Placer.
Yeah, Seth Hurd came in the game a couple of plays ago. They're moving. It looks like they're replacing 4 skill players each play, getting new guys in there and giving Ryan Miller a chance to limber up the old arm again and throw what is a very difficult pass across the field. The out like that, but he got it to Hurd with plenty of time to spare.
7.
No, I said 6. Darn.
Ryan Miller gives it inside. Huge hole. Cut back. Cuts upside, and he's going to go all the way down to the 20. Great run right there by Jaden Sheldon.
So another new name.
Charles Serenbetz on the carry.
Correction, Charles Serenbetz, number 25, the fullback on the carry. Hard to tell between the 5 and the 3, but a great run and another first down for Placer.
And another junior for Placer getting some good snaps in there. Maybe the first or second carry of the season for Charles.
Maybe just 1 or 2 plays left, Phantom, as Placer came out, did what they needed to do, leading this one 42-7 with less than a minute to go. Ryan Miller's gone the whole way at quarterback, and he gives it to the first back through, and that's Serenbetz, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle on the play by Eliza Banks.
And we talked about the keys of the game. The first one come out strong. They did that. They expanded a little bit. I think they expanded the passing game with Placer coming out here and making a couple of catches. But Jeremiah Reethy going down with the injury kind of didn't stay healthy. They might be without him for a little bit. We'll have to wait and hear just how serious that injury is.
Really the only down spot, and was otherwise a controlled game from Placer from the get-go. Did a great job in the kicking game with Kevin Martinez continuing to get touchbacks. Great job offensively with Baylor Kelly and Sean Jones with rushing touchdowns. Ryan Miller had a great game throwing the football and running the offense, and just a great defensive game from start to finish.
Absolutely. The line, a tremendous job. The linebackers plugged the hole and they didn't really allow any big runs. And the defensive backs, except for the one at the end of the game, really stayed on the wide receivers. So great game all around. And when you look at from the Lincoln side, kind of what I expected to see. I mean, they were kind of undermanned. They kind of, like very young team, but they were out there and they played from the first whistle to the last. They were out there giving it their best.
And Brock Kaler, their outstanding sophomore, leading the handshakes. And so with that, we will take the break. We'll be back with our post-game show as Placer runs their record to 3-4. They now have won 3 games in a row, winning tonight 42-7. You've been listening to Placer Football on KAHI, FM and AM, your voice of the Foothills. So Placer runs their record to 3-4, an impressive victory tonight, 42-7 over the visiting Lincoln Fighting Zebras, who fall to 0-7 on the season, setting up a big matchup next week for the Placer Hillmen as they go down and play Nevada Union, and then the week after that, West Park. But Phantom, as we talk about here in the post-game show brought to you by Dr. Hines, Placer's really done what they needed to do the last 3 weeks.
They have. They've kind of come together. They played, as we said, the teams haven't been as tough, but their execution has been, for the most part, excellent. They started it off with Rio Linden, put 63 up on the board, and then last week against Ponderosa, dominating that game from basically start to finish after the first 2 minutes. And this one was never in doubt. They did have the interception early, but they came right back and defensively just shut down Lincoln as far as that's concerned and started putting touchdowns on the board. So, yeah, I think Joey Montoya is going to be happy with his team. He's not going to be satisfied with his team. He never is, but I think he likes where his team is going into the next phase against Nevada Union. West Park, it looks like, has opened up a sizable lead against the Miners, so it looks like that Nevada Union will take the loss there. The Placer goes in there next week. They'll be a little bit wounded, will the Miners. We'll see how that affects what they do, but I think Joey Montoya is exactly where he wanted to be after that 0-4 start. He's got 3 in a row. He's got his team moving. He's got Sean Jones running great. Kelly's running great. Not too much work on any of those guys, and they all seem pretty fresh.
And one of the great scenes you'll see in all of high school football, the entire student body and team down on the field, as head coach Joey Montoya, who's been here for 17 seasons, talks to everybody and brings up some players. It was all Placer tonight. They did not punt. They scored 42 points, 4 rushing touchdowns by Baylor Kelly, 2 by Sean Jones, and probably more importantly than that, Phantom, Ryan Miller's turned out to be a pretty good quarterback and is spreading the ball around. Even the one interception was a ball, the one incompletion was a ball that was off the hands of his tight end.
Yeah, we were impressed by him when he was throwing the ball against Rosebud in his first start, but I want to point out, Scott, that it's even more impressive down there. You mentioned everybody gathering around Coach Montoya, but with all the pink in the crowd, it really makes a startling look. You look down there and you see all the pink sprinkled and all the support down there, so it is a great sight to see. And, yeah, Placer has a tremendous tradition of going out after the game. But, yeah, so, I mean, the Ryan Miller, the maturation of Ryan Miller has been something we've talked about all season. He was dumped in there in the second week. I mean, we talked about the bye coming at a perfect time for him to just catch his breath. Came out, the opposition not as good. He's getting a little more time. Credit the offensive line for that. And again, Luke Placer tonight, really encouraging sign. He had a couple of big catches, including a catch that was on a 3rd and 11 early in the game. It's not going to make a difference in the game as far as who wins or loses. But for Placer right then, it was a really key to extending that drive, and they scored soon after that. So, yeah, everything looking good for Ryan Miller as he steps in. And I don't think that Coach Montoya is surprised by the way he's developed.
And for the 3rd game in a row, Placer did not lose the turnover battle. This one was even at 1-1, and they won the turnover battle against Rio Linda and Ponderosa. You're listening to the Placer High School Football postgame show brought to you by Dr. Mujahid Hines from Envision Eye Care. If you have any questions about cataract or LASIK surgery, Dr. Hines is your man. You can find him at Envision Eye Care. The phone number 916-723-7400 or online at www.envisioncenters.com. So for Mark the Phantom Lowe, this is Scott Gordon. I want to thank Stones McCoy for getting here early, getting us all set up on the air. We also had an appearance by Brad, and he turned a few buttons here, so we're going to call out his name. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. He just kept turning buttons. We want to thank Aaron, who also handled the news at the halftime, and it's good to hear his voice tonight as well. As we sign off from the Fever Stadium, Placer has now run their record to 3-4 on a 3-game win streak. It's Placer 42 and the visiting Lincoln Fighting Zebra 7. You've been listening to Placer Football on KAHI, FM and AM, your voice of the foothills. Good night, everybody.
Placer Hillmen Football has been brought to you on KAHI by these great sponsors. Please support them whenever you can. Depot Bay Coffee Roasters, Mackey Heating and Air, Mel's Diner Auburn, Robinson Sand and Gravel, the Roseville Auto Mall, Auburn Trophies, and by Foreman Eye Care. You'll hear every Placer Hillman game this season right here on 104.5 FM and 950 AM KAHI. Good night, and thanks for listening.
Okay.
Name's Kiefer Abs. I'm a corner and wide receiver. We played pretty well tonight, and I'm excited for what we have in store for us.
Yeah, right. Favorite play? Favorite part of football?
Honestly, building the brotherhood with my team.
Yeah, right on. Thanks, Kiefer.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Placer High School, welcome to the Paper Stadium for tonight's game between the visiting Fighting Zebras of Lincoln High School and your Placer Hillmen.
Scott Gordon alongside Mark the Phantom Lowe. Ball is on the right hash. Counter play coming inside. Huge hole. Looks like it's Justin Willis, and JJ's got a big run all the way down to the 24. Biggest run of the game so far for Placer. They go underneath. They give it to Sean Jones. Jones has got a whole lane, and he's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown. So just like that, 2 plays, 62 yards. The big pass and catch, but Sean Jones again. High formation. Brown goes with the pitch play. This time they go to Gaylor on the sweep. He comes around the outside, and he is met in the backfield and brought down. It's Luke Platzer and Ivan De Silva. Back-to-back plays, a tackle for loss.
Tremendously impressive play right there.
Brown will operate out of the shotgun. He's got a running back right next to him. Takes a 3-step drop, steps up, got a little bit of lane to throw. He's going to throw it down. This one's going to be picked off by Kiefer Abs. He overthrows the receiver. Abs is going to take it down the sidelines, and he runs over Brown as the quarterback at the 11, and Kiefer Abs, a great interception. Now they're giving it to Baylor Kelly on the sweep play. He's got a bit of an edge, and he catches his balance. He's going to go into the end zone, touchdown, and just like that, it is 3rd and 18 from the 31. Brock goes back to pass, throws it down, and it is knocked away by Luke Platzer. A good job right there. They put Willis in motion. They give to Kelly on the counter, and he's got a ton of room. He's going all the way to 20, 10, breaks the tackle. He is in the end zone. Touchdown, Placer. And Baylor Kelly on the inside counter play. They go underneath. They give it to Sean Jones. Jones has a pretty good sized hole. He bounces through it, and he's carrying people. He got into the end zone. 20-yard touchdown run for the sophomore, who was hit at about the 5 Phantom and carried tacklers all the way in the end zone. Another touchdown, the second of the night for Sean Jones. And as Coach Joey Montoya said, you haven't seen the best of him yet.
No, you haven't.